Hi there and welcome back. This is the third module in the Qualitative Research course, EDLR 7312. This time we're going to talk a little bit about narrative studies and case studies in qualitative research. In narrative research, remember, you're going to be collecting stories from individuals or groups about a lived or told experience they've had. You're going to shed light on those individuals and talk about how they see themselves. Now, those stories that you collect are going to occur within a specific place or situation. Those stories are gathered in various ways, and you've got to be able to analyze them using a number of different strategies and develop a chronology of that particular narrative. According to Cresswell, there are two types of narrative research. You have a biographical study where the researcher writes and records the experiences of another person's life or their professional identity. Or you can go through an oral history where the researcher gathers personal reflections of events and their causes and the effects it has had on one or more individuals. When determining to use a narrative research approach, you need to determine if your research problem or questions best fit the narrative research approach. You need to select one or more individuals who have stories or life experiences to tell and spend a considerable amount of time with them gathering their stories through multiple types of information. You need to also consider how the collection of data and their recording can take different shapes. Now, you will embed information about the context of these stories into your data collection, analysis of your data, and also your writing in chapters 4 and 5 of your dissertation. Analyze the participants' stories using a process of kind of reorganizing those stories into some general type of framework, whether it's concepts or themes. That's called restorying, according to Cresswell. You need to embed a collaborative approach in the collection or telling of those stories, and you'll present the narrative in a written form. If you look in chapter 5 of the Cresswell book, you'll see on page 113 a narrative study discussed at length. There are a number of challenges in narrative research. You're going to need to collect an extensive amount of information about those participants, and you need to have a clear understanding of the context about that individual. You've got to be able to uncover that person under the carpet, so to speak, or the multi-layered context in that person's life. It's going to have to be active collaboration with that person. Be prepared for those issues that arise from collecting, analyzing, and telling of individual stories. You've got to think about, once you talk to different folks, there may be a different point of view or different recollections about a particular incident or event. You're always going to embed the nature of the stories within that larger social, cultural, institutional dimension in your research. Now, there are three types of case study research out there. There's instrumental, which focuses on one issue or concern, then uses just one case to illustrate that study. Or collective or multi-case study, which focuses again on that one issue or concern, but you'll use multiple cases to illustrate the issue. Or you can do case study research from an intrinsic point of view, which focuses on a case itself, like a program evaluation. As you prepare to conduct a case study research, you need to determine if case study approach really is appropriate for studying the problem that you're going to be looking at. Identify the intent of the study and select the case or the cases appropriately. You'll need to develop procedures for conducting the data collection itself and specify the analysis approach that integrates an analytic theme or context, and make sure that you report the case study and those lessons you've learned from it using case assertions. There are a few challenges when you do case study research. You need to make sure that the case that you identify is either broad enough for the study or narrow enough in scope. You have to decide whether to use a single or multi-case purpose, and if you look at multi-cases, how many? Usually, in educational research, you're not going to see more than 4 or 5 cases total in a case study research proposal. You have to develop the rationale for choosing those cases. What are the criteria that you're going to be looking for? You also have to look at the rigor of the study that you want to do.